the full moon ritual in Capricorn. I am so grateful that you arrived here today, whether you're watching live or on the replay. And if you could just give yourself a moment of gratitude for showing up for yourself, that's a really big deal. So we're going to start with a grounding meditation. Now, this ritual is going to be a lot about ambition and reaching our goals and creating wealth for ourselves and having action plans to actually make something manifest in real life. Capricorn is all about that goat climbing the mountain. Capricorn goes after its visions. Capricorn goes after its goals. Now, one of the things that will stop us from going after our goals is fear. Fear is the number one thing that's going to make us not climb that mountain. And fear is associated with the root chakra. So the root chakra is the energy center that is right where your genitals are, right at that base of your spine. And this energy center is red. So we're going to ground this energy center before we start our ritual today. Because if you want to go after your goals, if you want to be an ambitious person, if you want to create more money, you need to have a really good relationship with this root chakra. That's where it starts. So if you could take your hands and place them right over your root chakra, that's right at your lower belly, right above your genitals. Place your hands there and close your eyes. Let out a sigh. Arrive here in the moment. We're going to take a moment to feel that we are not doing this alone. We have a group of goddesses with us right now. So feel that we have a cosmic circle. We're joining as a group right now. We are meeting on the astral plane for this ritual. Now notice where your hands are making contact with your body. Notice if you feel any sensations of heat that might be there from your palm being there. If you don't feel heat, maybe just push a little firmly into your skin so you can feel pressure there. And while your eyes are closed, really tune into that energy center. We're going to take a big deep breath together, inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, holding for 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to do another breath, and I want you to really contract your lower belly as you're inhaling, and then push out your lower belly when you are exhaling. So we're going to inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, holding for 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you feel that contact with your lower belly and your root chakra? We're going to do it one more time. Really letting that lower belly contract in as we inhale, pushing our hands in to help this sensation. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, holding for 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now place your hands on your knees or your thighs, anywhere where you're making contact with your body and it feels good. Maybe even placing the hands over your heart. And breathe at your regular pace. Noticing the quality of your breath. Is it shallow, deep, rushed, or slow? Now we're going to take one big inhale, go quick, and sigh it out with your mouth. Make noise. And one more like that. Now we're going to do a little guided visualization. So, closing your eyes again, or if they're already closed, keep them closed. I want you to ask your intuition, what do you really desire? What do you really wish to accomplish? Where do you want to be in 6 months? What is the goal that you want to go after? If there were no limits, no fears, what is the goal that you want to go after? Notice what comes up for you. Notice if there's a visual or a symbol or words. Now visualize Palace of the Priestess. We are in the lounging temple room that we always meet at for our rituals. You can see the other women around you. You can see the other goddesses who are present today. Now we're going to take a trip together. We all stand in this room. And there's a big, beautiful set of red doors. Single file, we all approach this door and walk through. As we enter, we feel chills start to surround us. The air changes in quality. It's very dark and you're wondering, where are we headed? As you follow the goddess in front of you, you start to smell popcorn. And you realize we're entering a giant movie theater. You feel the excitement build. We turn the corner and the theater is revealed. The biggest screen you have ever seen, covered with beautiful red velvet curtains. The structure of the room is made out of gold and pillars, intricate details. You take it all in, even with this dim lighting, you can see how magnificent this room is. Expansive. You find a seat on the red velvet cushions, and you find that it fits you perfectly. You feel like you've been in this chair many times. Sit back and relax in this chair. Feel fully supported. You turn to look at the goddess next to you and suddenly realize you're alone now. You know their energy is near, but the show we're about to watch is just for you. The lights go down completely, and the red curtain opens up to reveal the full screen. You wait in anticipation. The screen flickers on. What you see is you at 12 o'clock midnight on January 1st, 2021. You see you 6 months ago, the very first minute of this year. You sit back and watch as the screen shows you the last 6 months of your life. Take this in and watch the visuals. What scenes of your life are playing out in front of you? What moments of the past 6 months are highlighted for you? How many different versions of you have you already been in 6 months? How many emotions have you already gone through in 6 months? Watch yourself flashing on that screen, all of your different sides of you, all of your different emotions, your highs and your lows, your breakthroughs, your breakdowns. Who are the people who have entered and exited your life in the past 6 months? Notice what little moments show up and what big moments have occurred. Now you notice the screen starts to play this very day. You're watching the day you just had playing on the screen, all the way up until this moment right now. You feel a rush of energy as the movie starts to show you tomorrow. What are you doing tomorrow? And then it starts to show you the next day, the next week. In front of you, the next 6 months start to play out on screen. What do you see? What is happening in your next 6 months of life? Now, while you're watching what's happening on screen, it feels very new. It feels very exciting. But there's a part of you that is also remembering that you wrote this script and that you've directed this story already. You stand up You stand up out of your seat and you begin to walk towards the screen. The images of your next 6 months get bigger and closer as you get closer to the screen. You find yourself walking all the way up until you can put your hand on the screen. And you notice your hand goes right through it. And you enter. You look down and you realize you're inside of the film now that you were watching. You are inside of the future. You are at some point in the next 6 months. You are living that experience right now. Look around from that point of view. Is there anything you would like to adjust or change, remembering that you're the director and the script writer? Look around at who is present or what location you are at, what you might be wearing. What are the qualities of your emotions? What does it smell like? What does it feel like? You have the power to fast forward or rewind, but stay in the 6-month window of the future. You can touch the things that are around you. You can walk up close and look at the details of the scene that you're in. Now we're going to fast forward to New Year's 2021, about to be 2022. Where are you? What have you accomplished at that point? How are you feeling 6 months into the future? What are you doing and who are you with? You look up at the clock and that countdown is about to begin. You're about to enter 2022. And as it gets closer to 0, you feel your energy being pulled back, pulled out. And by 0, you'll be sitting back in that theater chair, out of the screen, out of the scene, and in this present moment watching the screen. So take a deep breath in, really feel your surroundings one last time. Exhale, and I'm going to begin the count. And when I get to 0, you will arrive back here in this present moment. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're back here in the present moment. Slowly start to open your eyes, arriving back here in this ritual. 6 months into 2021. You just did a review of your last 6 months, and you got a glimpse into the future of the next 6 months. So we are going to dedicate this ritual now to seeing how you can tap into that magic that you visualized and how we can infuse your goals with more insight and more magic. Okay. So what I have here on the table is our candle setup. The energies we are calling in: fulfillment and success. We are 6 months into this year, which means you have been working hard for 6 months already. There are fruits that have already ripened that you get to taste now. We're going to have gratitude for these fruits later in the ritual. We are also calling in abundance and achievement, good fortune and wealth, the ability to go after what we want. Remembering that Capricorn is a goat, and the goats have a miraculous ability to climb any mountain. Somehow their little hooves always manage to find the next little step in that mountain, and they defy gravity with the way that they climb it. You can do the same. And then we have Queen of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles here. This is what you've already gained. This is what you will gain. And this is the potential of everything that's going to be handed to you. When you come up with your goals for your life, there's 2 things to remember. 1, go for that next step. The goat doesn't just fly up the mountain or go from this step to suddenly this step. The goat finds each little step for its hooves. So look for each little step that's next in your journey. The other thing to keep in mind is go after what you really want. Don't let fear have you pick something smaller to go after. When you go after the real potential, when you go after the real thing that you desire, that's when the universe is going to step in and help you. That's when other people who are in their flow are going to find you and be like, oh my God, I've been waiting for you. I have a similar dream. Let's do this together. Let's talk about fear a little bit more. So in tarot, Capricorn is the devil card. Now, typically in a reading, especially a love reading, we don't really like to see this guy. But let's give him some merit. Let's look at his goodness. These are the horns of the Capricorn. Capricorn represents structure and ambition. When a Capricorn wants something, they dedicate everything to that thing. Capricorns are ruthless. Most Capricorns end up being business owners or entrepreneurs. So you want to grab onto some of that Capricorn energy. Now, we don't want to chain ourselves to our work. We don't want to chain ourselves to our goals so strongly that we then activate devil energy. And what that means is taking something that used to give you pleasure and then being trapped by it. So there is a beautiful balance where you want to tap into this energy of full-on commitment, full-on ambition, but you don't want to chain yourself to it. Always balance out your goals and your work life and your wealth creation with something else, because that will put you in an energy where you can not really be playing around with these chains. We talked about how fear is one of the only things that can actually hold you back. Fear is one of the only things that really stops you from anything. If you look at the excuses you have, under that excuse, if you really follow it to its root, it's probably fear. So one of the beautiful things we can take from the devil, do you think he's scared of anything? How do you think he handles his fears? This is a card of shadows and darkness. So when you feel fear come up, know that you can't kick it off the bus. So instead, look it right in its face and be like, you're not controlling me and you don't have me chained to anything. And then have it sit its ass down and you go do your thing. I like to think of an analogy of a bus. You are the driver of that bus. Fear is just one of the passengers. You don't have to listen to the directions it's giving you. You listen to the directions you're giving yourself. You're the director. You're the driver. Fear can have its input, but that doesn't matter. There's other voices to listen to, and the important voice is the voice of your director self. So I'm going to do a tarot reading to help you guys figure out what are the next 6 actions you need to take for your goal. So think about what you just watched on screen, the next 6 months of your life. And earlier, when we were asking your intuition what it wants, consider those answers too. Again, if you came into this ritual with a smaller goal that was like your, I'm not scared of this one goal, shove that one aside and focus on your real goal. Focus on your big vision goal right now. So while you concentrate on that, I'm going to pull advice for the next 6 months, each month. You can make this advice for yourself month by month, or you can see it as your next 6 steps and get those done in whatever time frame is going to work for you, aiming for it to be in 2021. All right, so what is the first step? What is the first step that needs to be taken? And what is the second step that needs to be taken? If you have a tarot deck and you want to follow along with this, feel free. What is the next step to be taken? And what is the third step to be taken? What is the fourth step? What is the fifth step? And what is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the last step? Okay. Okay, before I reveal these, we are going to light our candles. If you want to light your candles, this is the time to do so. I am lighting 4 candles today for stability and the 5th candle for our ambitions. I didn't feel called to a lot of crystal work for this ritual, so I just threw a few amethysts on the table because amethyst is a really good crystal for counteracting devil energy. It makes sure you don't get fully chained up in it and that you can just use its good qualities. So 4, I'm choosing 4 to represent structure, to represent stability. And this is the 5th one. And this is the candle for our manifesting. This is the candle for ambition. And this is number 5 to represent the transitions that we'll need to go through. When we go through a transition, you will naturally feel fear becoming louder. And I want to remind you that fear is not an indicator that you need to stop. Fear is not an indicator that your goal is not for you. So with this 5th candle, I bless that we will be able to move through that fear. We will be able to face that fear. We will maybe even be able to get a little sassy with that fear and tell it to go sit down. Okay, so the first step for your goal. We just did a meditation where you reviewed the last 6 months of your life. Now, if we're constantly looking back to the past, that's where we're facing. So where in your past can you not look away from? What in your past are you still mourning over? Maybe this extends way past the last 6 months. What in your past makes you feel like you're not good enough? Makes you feel like you're not worthy? Makes you feel like your goal's never going to happen? Maybe what you've been after is something you've been after for a long time, and you've had a few failures. Is there a voice of self-pity that talks to you? Notice how this is a 5, and we were just talking about 5s and transitions. So your first step is to let the past go. If there's anything else you need to cry over about it, let yourself cry, but then you need to turn around. You need to turn around so you can do the rest of the journey. And if you need to talk to people about this, make those connections. Stop looking at the past for evidence or for answers. Stop trying to drink what has already been spilled. The first step towards your goal is to turn around and face the future. We're going to do a manifesting practice next, and that's actually going to help a lot with this card. So I'm pleased that this one actually came out. All right, so your second step for this goal. Second step is to tap into the potential, tap into the energy of it. How did you feel when we did that meditation earlier? How did you feel watching the next 6 months on the screen? Did that fuel you up? If yes, do that practice again. You're going to get a replay of this. If not, find how you can tap into that excitement, tap into that future. Literally just tap into the potential energy of it. You don't have to do anything but get excited, actually, is what step number 2 is. For ambition, I like to make a playlist of music that really fires me up and like makes me feel like that boss bad bitch. So I go on walks and I have those playlists playing in my ears. And the movement of the walking and the vibrations of the music get me into this energy. So find out how you're going to tap into the potential and the excitement. That's step number 2. All right, so notice the clouds created. This is your thoughts. So when you do step number 2, look at how it's going to really jog your emotions, your heart, and your mind. You're going to get all of these ideas. So if one of your excuses right now is, oh, I don't know how to do my goal. Like I maybe your goal is like start a business and you're like, I don't know what business to start. Realize that step 3 is the brainstorming of that. Realize that if you just let yourself tap into the excitement, that will get all this brain juice jogging. Oh my gosh, I blew out our candle. I'm not going to take that as a spiritual message because I'm literally talking like right here to it. So once you tap into the possibility, start to brainstorm all the options. Start to look at all the different ways you can actually make your one goal happen. If you think there's some rigid path to making your goal happen, break out of that limiting belief. There are multiple ways that you can make this path happen for you. Step 3 will be playing in that. Step 3 is brainstorming in your journal, talking to people, talking to lots of people, doing a lot of research, trying a few things out. Let's say your goal is to start a business, like I said, and maybe you're really good at a lot of things. So maybe you're like, hey, what if for a day I just pretend I am an astrologer and I give someone an astrology reading? And then tomorrow I'm going to do someone's hair because I'm really good at that. And the next day I'm going to make a graphic, like I could be a graphic designer, and do all the skills that you're good at and feel it out. Pretend you're drinking it from a cup. Like, do I actually like this? Is this the direction I want to go in? If your goal is already really solid, this is more about networking and brainstorming. Okay, so step number 4 for your goal. Have fun with it and assume the identity of that person that you want to be. This is the self card. This is the identity card. This card defies logic the same way that a goat climbing a mountain defies the laws of nature. This card can show up at any point. It's like the most magical card of the tarot deck. So who is it that you want to be? And then put that identity on and have fun with playing in that identity. Get curious about it. Just like with 7 of Cups, where it's like, okay, try it out for a day. Try it out for a day and get experimental and have fun. No limits. No limits. Leaps of faith. You know, when you're going on a roller coaster and like the anticipation builds right until you're at the top, that's the same fear that you're going to get as you're getting close to your goal. And then when it goes down, have fun, scream, have fun with it. Okay, step number 5. Step number 5 for achieving your goal. Look at where you're doing too much. Look at where you might be sabotaging. Look at where you're trying to grab all of the things, and therefore some things are falling to the wayside. Prioritize. What is most important? How can you make sure that what's most important is in your hand and that you're not letting things go? And if you feel like you've done that, ask yourself where you might be self-sabotaging and subconsciously letting something fall down because you don't really want to hold it. And step number 6 for your goals, or this would be December if you want to go month by month. So step number 5, connect with soulmate people. When you're really tapped into your flow and your purpose and you're really listening to the next steps of your intuition, this will naturally happen. Have you already had this experience in life where your intuition was like, just do this thing, and you do it, and then you meet someone where you're like, oh my gosh, this was really divine to meet you. Or, oh my gosh, I feel like I know you. Or, oh my gosh, you were literally the person I was trying to call into my life. And they're going to feel that same way about you. So step number 5 is make those soulmate connections. And you do that by listening to your heart. And if you can't listen to your heart, if your heart is blocked off, start to do inner child healing work. Heal those memories. Heal your heart space. When you do that, you'll be able to hear what it's saying, and then you'll be led right to those soul connections. It's easy to let fear hold you back from your goals, but I want you to remember that your goal is not isolated just to you. When you have the bravery to go after your goal, you set off in motion this cosmic wave that lets all of the other people that are supposed to be in your wave to do their thing. You set off the motion that helps them also do their goal. So your goal is not an isolated, selfish thing. If there's something in your heart that you're being told to do and you do it, it's going to benefit other people. Someone invented a slinky. And like, okay, you invented a slinky, but how many people after that person have made money selling the slinky or had fun memories with a slinky? The animator in Toy Story was like, oh, a slinky, and then made Slinky the dog. And now there's a character that's built off of it. So never think that your goal, the thing that you're wanting to do, is selfish or stupid or isolated. Everything has a purpose. Everything fits in somewhere. Everything is going to end up affecting other people. So when you feel fearful, remind yourself of that. Remember step 5. There's other people who want to join in with you, who are going to be affected by you going down this path. That's also why the most amount of wealth can be created when you're doing your authentic journey in life, when you're doing your path and your goal, because the universe is like, oh, thank God, they're doing their thing. Send them what they need. Send them what they need. All right. So we're going to do something really fun. Since I told you the materials like a few hours ago, if you can't do this right now, that's okay. You can do it in the next 2 days, or you can do it at any point in your life. This is a technique that's not isolated to this Capricorn full moon. Okay. So if you happen to have your fruit or your strawberries, now is the time to get them out. If you have your honey, now's the time to get it out. If you just have a notebook, get that out. So we watched the movie of your life. You watched the last 6 months of your life. I want you to acknowledge 6 things that you can have gratitude about for the last 6 months. So you can write these down, or if you have your fruit, I have 6 strawberries here. I have 6 strawberries here representing each of the gratitude. Oh, wait, no, that's wrong. That's wrong. The strawberries represent the 6 goals for the next 6 months. The next 6 goals or the next 6 steps. Those are the strawberries. The honey is the gratitude. This is a little thing full of honey. Okay, so in your journal, write down 6 things that you can be grateful for about the last 6 months. If you had a horrible last 6 months, have gratitude that you got through it. The cosmic energies of this year have been rough. So if you've had a rough time, have gratitude that you were able to get through it. Have gratitude for your strength. So if you do have your honey, or if you have your beverage, you can whisper or visualize that gratitude going into it. So right now I am holding my honey. I am circling it clockwise. That's just something I like to do to open up energy, open up portals. So I am infusing this with my 6 points of gratitude the past 6 months. And next, you're going to write down either 6 goals or 6 steps towards your main goal that you want to have happen in the next 6 months. So you can tune into that movie you watched, or you can think about the reading I just did. And if you have your fruit, you will look at your fruit and infuse that into it. And if you have your drink, you can infuse your gratitude and your goals into it. I usually use water, but hey, it's devil card energy today. I got called towards wine. Any beverage you have is going to work. Okay. So the way this manifesting technique goes, this is your goal. This is your gratitude. Be very clear about what both of them are. And you are going to dip your goals in gratitude. Sweeten your goals with gratitude. Once you have, enjoy it. Let the bite that you take be full and sensual. Let yourself feel how sweet it is to taste the fruits of your labor. If you can be following along, or you can be visualizing, you can do this later. Dip those goals in your gratitude. Feel the sweetness. Time is not real. This goal, I already have the fruit of it, even though it's not coming till December. I will finish the rest of my strawberries after this. You can as well, or you can set this up for yourself at a later time. If you have your beverage, we will do a cheers to all of our goals coming true, to everything that we've been through for the past 6 months and a lifetime, to gathering here together, to showing up for yourself, for facing fear. Cheers. And just like the strawberries, really let yourself feel it. Really sink in to this practice. Why do we go after anything? Why do we want things? If you can't savor the rewards of your efforts, if you can't find pleasure in that present moment and enjoying the fruits or the nectar, then why are you doing it? So practice in this simplistic way. And when that reality really comes to light, it really comes real, I want you to sink into it and feel all of its sweetness and all of its pleasure and all of its sensations, just as much as you can feel these. Now we are coming to the close of our ritual. We are going to end with the blessing of the candles. So as you watch, I want you to make wishes. Or if you're with your candle, speak your wishes right to your candle. I'm going to bless these candles with green and black. The green is ambition, and the black is protection around fears and also fierceness towards fears. So everyone that is watching, everyone who is present with this ritual, may all of their goals come true. May all of their dreams be manifested. All of their fears faced. May the right people come into their life. May everything go according to plan or even better. May you be charged. Wow. Okay, we're charged. May you have clear vision. May you have structure. May you have fierceness. May you accomplish everything that you want to accomplish. Fulfillment, abundance, success, all of it is already yours. You already have it. Are you going to enjoy it? Are you going to let yourself know it's real? How are you going to be different tomorrow? Cheers, everybody. If anyone wants to share, you are allowed to turn on your mic, pop on your video, message in chat, whatever you want to do. Our ritual is at a close. If you want to keep the magic going, you can keep your candles burning until they go out on their own. You can do the fruit and the drink. Again, water is usually what I use, so grab a glass of water. You can still do this. All right, if no one has anything to share, you can always message me later. Look at what your 6 actions are. See how you'll commit to them for the next 6 months or sooner. Taylor commented, I love this so much. I'm so glad you joined, Taylor, and I'm so glad you dressed up as your boss self. Linnea says the meditation was amazing. When I came up with the idea for that meditation, I wanted to scream at the top of my lungs. I was so excited. Caitlin says, thank you. Thank you, Caitlin, for joining. I'm so glad you could make it. I will be posting a tarot spread to Instagram if you want to also take this further and give yourself a full moon tarot reading. on ambition. Ooh, Linnea says, I saw the red velvet curtains and seats before I mentioned it. That is so cool. My intention with these visualizations is like, I really try to bring us into this astral realm that I've thought of before we started the ritual. So it's just very affirming that you totally tapped into the space and you saw it. I love that so much. And I know some people were late, so I'll send everyone the replay. So if you missed the beginning, you can watch it. Thank you again to everyone who joined. Your energy here in this group is such a big deal. It helps so much. So I am very grateful that you arrived here for me and yourself and the group. It is amazing. Linnea says, did you hear the tracks when the curtain opened? I'm going to listen to it again right after this and see if I notice it. That's so wonderful. All right, everyone, have a super wonderful, great night. Happy full moon in Capricorn. And hopefully I'll see you for the next ritual. Bye, everyone.